unannounced, unarmed, filled only with courage and with good intention. But that was repaid with more terror attacks on Indian soil, more Indian lives taken, with the sponsorship and the training of Pakistan. Sir, भारत ने हर बार शांति का हाथ बढ़ाया, पाकिस्तान ने हर बार आतंक का रास्ता अपनाया. This is the reality of our experience with cross-border terrorism. We have responded, sir, and it is important to point out the new normal that is now in place. We responded first with the surgical strikes. They did not relent. The Pakistanis still kept sponsoring, training, financing, sending terrorists across. We then responded with the Balakot airstrikes. And the airstrikes are a message which have continued till today. No one who kills Indians will sleep peacefully. Not across the border, not even in the safety of their homes. They will be tracked down and they will be killed inside their own homes. But this time, in Pahalgam, this new law which was achieved required Operation Sindoor. So they attacked tourists and we attacked terrorists. We did not target Pakistan's civilians. Our response, Operation Sindoor, was precise, it was measured, and it targeted terrorist sites. And only when Pakistan escalated did we then hit back at many more sites. Sir, this is not a reaction. This is a doctrine. This is the Modi doctrine. This is the new normal which Pakistan has now understood. Let me say this clearly, sir, that the India of today is not the India of 2008. This is very important because this turnaround, this new normal, is because of our changed policies. Sir, we must give full credit to our armed forces. The Honorable Defence Minister has pointed out their bravery, their sacrifices for the nation, and during this conflict also, what is important is, one question was asked, what about China? I have several things to say about China, but let me point out, when the Honorable Defence Minister said that the Indian Air Force bypassed and jammed air defence systems of Pakistan in 22 minutes, those were Chinese-supplied air defence systems that were neutralized in just 22 minutes. Sir, what is not often talked about, one thing we must, of course, acknowledge is that the entire country stood united on Operation Sindoor. I'm glad that even some friends across the aisle, across the other benches today, reiterated that. But sometimes, some honorable members have not been beneath taking this issue into domestic politics. I will come into that. One of the aspects that did not get talked about is that in this operation, where 11 air bases of a nuclear-armed country was hit. This is perhaps a first. This is perhaps a first that the armed bases of a nuclear-armed country was hit by India, 11 of them, and it destroyed 20% of Pakistan's Air Force assets. This is something that is worth remembering. The 9 bases of terrorists, their camps, which were neutralized, involved those of the Jaish-e-Mohammed, those of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, those of the Hizbul Mujahideen, all proscribed terror organizations who have long targeted India with the support of Pakistan. They are Pakistani based, they are Pakistani. Sir, we have talked about more than 100 terrorists being eliminated in Operation Sindoor's hit on Pakistan. It is also important to point out that at least 5 of them were very infamous names known around the world. Names like Mudassar Khadian Khas, senior operator of LET. This is the person who was given a guard of honor by the Pakistani military. Khalid alias Abu Akasha, another Lashkar-e-Taiba commander. Mohammed Yusuf Azhar, wanted in the IC 814 hijack, terror attack. Hafiz Muhammad Jamil, brother-in-law of Maulana Masood Azhar. And Muhammad Hassan Khan, Jaish-e-Muhammad commander. These are very significant names. These are very significant achievements in eliminating these terrorists. On the other hand, Pakistan's attempt to retaliate failed. And it pains me that friends in the opposition who have questioned India, who have questioned the successes achieved by the Indian armed forces, haven't pointed out these failures of Pakistan, nor have they asked these questions of Pakistan. Sir, Pakistan attacked Jammu University. It attacked the UN field station in Kashmir. These were neutralized, as the Honorable Defense Minister pointed out, by the UAS unmanned aerial system grid. India's actions were purely to counter terrorism and hit terrorists, decoupling the issue from any other disputes. Sir, if we look at the new normal that I have been talking about, it is important to understand what the past was. In the past, on a regular basis, almost on a daily basis, Pakistani sponsored terrorists were attacking India and killing Indians. Sir, if I give you a short list of the previous terror attacks and our responses, you will understand, sir, and I hope all our friends will understand that the new normal indeed is very dramatically different. Sir, 2005, Delhi serial blasts. A dossier was sent to Pakistan. So 2006, Varanasi bombings. India raised the issue in Indo-Pak talks. Mumbai attacks, sir, 2008, when so many people were killed and the then government decided not to retaliate. What is most shameful is that retaliation was considered. Retaliation was planned by our armed forces, but the then government did not permit retaliation. It is on record that the then senior-most officials of the government, whether it was the Foreign Secretary, whether it was the then NSA, took a decision not to hit back at Pakistan. This is what is really shocking, sir. 2006, Mumbai terror bombings. Sir, it is also important to point out that after the Mumbai attacks, 7 months after that, the then Prime Minister met the Pakistani president on the sidelines of the SCO summit in Russia and decided that India and Pakistan would continue dialogue. So we kept appeasing them. Our governments of the day over decades kept appeasing them, putting no pressure on them to stop their terror funding, terror organizing. Sir, in 2006, 2 months after the Mumbai train bombings, the then Prime Minister met Pakistani President Musharraf on the sidelines of the NAM summit in Havana and again agreed to maintain the peace process. So that so-called peace process was no peace process at all. It was only peaceful for Pakistan. Indians in large numbers were sacrificed. India was attacked repeatedly and large numbers of Indians were harmed and killed. Sir, worst of all, in 2009, within 8 months of the Mumbai terror attack, the then Prime Minister met his Pakistani counterpart at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt and agreed to again continue the cooperation with Pakistan. This for a country that for 78 years has been attacking India ceaselessly. Our approach in the past was only to cooperate, only to talk, not to retaliate, not to teach them a lesson. Sir, the worst part of this at Sharm el-Sheikh was a reference to Balochistan, which can be interpreted as if India and Pakistan are equated, as if India does similar things to Pakistan, whereas the issues are entirely different. There are no terror camps in India training terrorists and sending them to Balochistan. There is no equation at all. There is no comparison at all. And yet, our government of the day had no compunction in granting such a hyphenation with Pakistan. Sir, this can go on and on. There are many, many different such examples, and I will come to some of them. Sir, one question has been raised as to whether there was pressure on India to conclude the hostilities. There was absolutely no pressure on India. This has been pointed out again and again. Sir, any country can call and make suggestions. Anybody can do that. We as members of parliament can call up our counterparts when they are in the midst of hostilities, and we can give them suggestions. That is not how the hostilities ended. Sir, India has pointed out very, very clearly that this is a bilateral issue, and we have no intention of escalating. We would stop hostilities if Pakistan requested. And until and unless Pakistan directly requested India, we did not stop the hostilities. It had no relation, no connection to any requests by anybody else until Pakistan directly requested India. And sir, I asked my friends in the opposition, this has not been contradicted by anyone. Has anyone contradicted India's assertion that we insisted that it had to be a Pakistani request that we will respond to? And Pakistan finally came to its knees and requested, and that is what we responded to. Now, it is shameful that many in our country keep questioning the Indian armed forces, keep questioning the Indian government, and don't question what Pakistan stands for, what Pakistan says. Sir, I want to point out what Pakistan has said. They made absurd claims. Pakistan has made a claim to an international TV channel on 7th May. Pakistan's IB Minister Ataullah Tarar said, there are no terrorist camps in Pakistan. Have any of our friends in the opposition questioned that? Many of them have been quoted repeatedly in international media. Have any of them questioned that? Pakistan, where the most infamous terrorist in memory, the Al-Qaeda chief, was sheltered next to an army base, claiming that it doesn't have terror camps. When terror camps have been pointed out in satellite imagery, when not only terror camps have been pointed out, because of the efforts of our government, many terrorist organizations and many individual terrorists have been proscribed by a variety of multilateral organizations, including the United Nations itself. Sir, I would like to point out that when the Honorable Congress member from Assam talked about certain things, I think it does deserve a response. I compliment him and others who said that they stand with the government of India. But the questions and the accusations against the government cannot go unanswered. Sir, it was amusing when he asked when POK would be got back. Sir, it was amusing when he referred to the number of Rafales and the China question. Sir, I would like to point out, and he used the point and he used the word that India bowed down. And his leader, whom he cited today in relation to the China question, has often used the word surrender. I think it is important for this House to point out how many times over the decades Congress has surrendered India's interest. Please have the patience to listen to this. 1948, Pakistan illegally occupied 78,000 square kilometers, the same POK that my friend was referring to. When our armed forces wanted just a little bit more time to conclude the armed operations and take it back, the then Prime Minister took the matter to the UN. Surrender. Number one, it started from day one. 1949, Congress ignored the Kabah Valley, which was leased to Burma by UK. Manipur had received rent until 1949. Congress did nothing about it. Surrendered that. Surrender number 2. Sir, in 1954, our then Prime Minister conceded India's rights in Tibet, accepting China's annexation without gain, withdrawing our military escorts and services. A very major surrender, number 3. Sir, in 1958, under the Noon-Nehru Pact, Berubari was transferred to East Pakistan, despite severe opposition. Another surrender. So I lose count of the number of surrenders, but there are quite a lot. Please allow me to point out a few more. If I list all the surrenders that Congress did of India's national interest, then the 16 hours that the Honorable Speaker has granted us will not be enough. But I will point out a few more. Sir, in the 1950s, our then Prime Minister rejected the proposal for a UN permanent seat for India in the Security Council. Surrender to China. Surrender. 1960, India conceded the Sarja Majra, Rakh Hardit Singh, Pathan Ke, Suleiman Ke and Chak Lereke in Punjab to Pakistan. Another surrender. Sir, our then Prime Minister played down the value of Aksai Chin in 1959, calling it barren and uninhabited, when in fact it is full of mineral resources, dismissing conflict with China. Another surrender. Sir, I can just go on and on and on. In 1963, Pakistan conceded more than 5,000 square kilometers in POK to China. India stayed silent. Surrender. So I can just keep going on. In 1965, India returned the Haji Pir Pass to Pakistan under the Tashkent Agreement. Surrender. Sir, under the 1971 Shimla Agreement, India returned 5,000 square miles to Pakistan